We end every episode of On Purpose with a final 5.
Yeah.
These are the fast 5. The questions have to be answered in 1 word to 1 sentence maximum. However, when I get intrigued, I always go off record, which is fine. We'll do that. So, Nessa, these are your final 5. The first question is, what is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Let go and let God. I feel like that's 100% the best advice ever.
Beautiful. All right. Question 2. What's the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
Text him.
All right, go on. Tell me more. Tell me more.
If you're just like in your head about like an ex or anything like that, and someone tells you, you know what, just text him. Do not listen. Do not, I feel like there's a lot of advice that kind of just enables your bad habits. Let's try to stay away from that.
Got it. Great advice. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to go slightly off piece here because I think you might have some good advice for people. Let's say I have a hypothetical friend. It's a real friend, but let's say I have a friend who is around your age.
Yeah.
And she deals with people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
She becomes friends with guys who actually want to get with her, but then she doesn't like them in that way. But then she feels bad to tell them that. What should she do in that scenario? Why are you laughing? There's something going on.
I was like, this reminds me so much of myself.
Oh, right. Oh, that's so funny. Great. So what advice would you give to my friend? It's a real story. So I'm like actually asking. When she listens to this, she's going to be like, Jay, how did you put me out like that?
I think boundaries is like the biggest advice. And I feel like when you are a people pleaser and you're a very nice person, like at the core, and you only see like the good in people and you can't really it's easy to ignore any red flags. I feel like just try and set as many boundaries as yourself and just like protect yourself and just be cautious. I feel like just being cautious is the biggest thing because there are sticky situations that you can get into just because you're genuinely a nice person, and everyone has different intentions than you. So I think being slow and steady and cautious.
Okay. Great.
And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to give advice when I'm like, I don't even know.
That's what I'm asking. I want to know what you would do. Question number 3, what keeps you up at night?
Honestly, anything. Anything and everything. I could think about, certain situations that are happening in my personal life or, I get paranoid and I have like anxiety about with my family because they're so far from me now. Or I just start thinking about deep things like God and the universe and aliens and weird stuff like that. And if I'm even human. But yeah, I think anything keeps me up at night in a weird way. Even sometimes like songwriting, I feel like I've stayed up for hours before trying to write a song. Absolutely goes nowhere. But yeah.
I love it. Question number 4, if someone needs to break up with someone, what is your best advice to the person doing the breaking up?
Sit them down and have a really nice, respectful conversation about it and be as vocal and honest as you can and still have compassion and not try to let things get fired up or also stand your ground because if you already want to break up with them, don't let them convince you otherwise. And do so without cheating or being disloyal because it is not nice. I had this song that I wrote recently that was it's called Leave Me Better Than You Found Me. And so it's kind of like, that's like my whole thing, like about breakups. It's like, if you're going to break up with someone, like don't do all of the yelling and the arguments and the cheating and the slamming the door before you leave. Like when you break up, like literally just have it be like a nice, mature, open conversation and like, have it be a kiss goodbye rather than like a slam to the door out type thing. Don't cause any more trouble and like pain than like, you need to.
Yeah. But, Great advice. There we go. All right. 5th and final question. We ask this to every guest who's ever been on the show. If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
Okay, this one seems so like stupid. This is the first thing that came up in my head. But I think that if there was a law that where if like you had to I feel like I'm gonna sound like so like cringe and like cliche doing this,
No,
but like
don't.
if you see someone like in public that's like very like obviously going through it and like crying and like in pain, like give them a hug, give them like love. I feel like that is something that should be a law. I feel like nowadays there's so much hatred and separation in the world. I feel like we just need a lot more love. So if there was a law that was like, if you see someone that needs it, give them love and give them a hug, I feel like that would make the world a lot more of a better place.
That's awesome. I love it. Nessa, everyone, Hell is a Teenage Girl music is out right now. I hope anyone who's going through a breakup, been through a tough breakup, just wants to have good energy and good healing in their life should go listen to the music. I know that I'll be recommending it to everyone. Nessa, I'm just so grateful to you for, even just talking to you has been so peaceful, so calming. And what's really wonderful is hearing someone who's obviously been through so much, but able to express it in a really coherent way. That's not easy. Like that's really tough. And to hear about all the work that you're doing on yourself and the therapy and the hypnotherapy and just reflecting and making music and expressing your art, all of that is just, I really appreciate it. And it's wonderful to see. And thank you so much for all the hard work you're doing for yourself and then to share it with others as well. But even just hearing you speak, I'm like, I hope everyone just listens to this episode on repeat because they're going to get so much out of it. But Nessa, thank you so much. Everyone who's been listening or watching, whether you're walking your dog, whether you're cooking, whether you're at the gym, whether you're driving, whatever you're doing, make sure you tag Nessa and I on TikTok, on Instagram, on Threads, on Twitter, on any platform you're using, letting us know what stood out to you, what stuck out to you, what you're practicing, what moments you're re-listening to. I love seeing what resonates with you. Maybe you're going to do your own burn box at home, do it safely. Thank you so much for listening and watching. A huge thanks to Nessa for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. That was awesome. Thank you.